Good evening, humans. Tyrannosaurusmoth here, and tonight we're taking a look at the Spawn's Universe Deluxe Mega Violator figure from McFarlane Toys. This thing is an absolute beast, just packed with detail and all sorts of good stuff. So let's not take any more time and let's delve right into this. Let's do this. Aesthetically speaking, this is one gorgeous hunk of plastic, and I really can't stress that enough. Really, this is the perfect amalgam of the old school McFarlane statues with like all the super intricate paint and just gorgeous like sculpt detail and the modern articulation. It just all comes together in this figure beautifully, and try and focus as much as I can here. However, it's gonna be hard because the figure is so large and I only have so much space here. But like, I mean, we're gonna start off right in the mouth. Like, it looks genuine. They did this beautiful gloss that makes it look like it's an actual mouth, and then the paintwork with the teeth, just really well done. That dark wash just brings out all the scales and just this wonderful reptilian look to it. This looks like a lot of my favorite monsters from like the 80s and 90s sci-fi and fantasy movies. Just gorgeous. Like I was around and got into Spawn right from the beginning. However, like I'd fallen off and I wasn't really familiar with this version of Violator, but I like this one even better, which is weird. And just really well done all around. Like the hands, and there's all these spikes, and that they are relatively hard, especially on the head, so you got to be careful when handling it. But then we get to the eyes. Nice, like brighter red. It was more of like a pink magenta rather in the mouth, and just all this cool detail in the horns. Kind of looks like there's just something growing on it. Just really well done. McFarlane's art come to life, and can't stress that enough. So really just so much detail, so beautifully executed. When it comes to accessories, all you get with Violator is this one laughably tiny stand. And by laughably tiny, I mean it is the standard McFarlane figure stand for this giant thing, which by the way weighs a ton. It's at least two pounds, maybe 3. And to prove that, I will show, not the weight, but the size of the stand. I will show you the Mortal Kombat stand that came with my Noob Saibot, and they are the same thing. So this is expected to hold that up. That is what it is. And that's accessories. When it comes to articulation, I'm still kind of messing around and finding the limits of the poses you can get out of Violator. However, it absolutely moves 1,000,000% better than any figure this bulky and large should. So that being said, going kind of top to bottom, we're going to see how well this fits in frame as I try to come close up. The head doesn't really go side to side, even though you can see there's a joint here. It kind of just moves up and down, and ever so slightly. I don't know if that's showing up. So there you go. So you're getting basically that out of it. And your jaw is articulated, so you're coming up to about there. You can open all the way. So as you can see, really nice and tight joints. Your arms coming up. My left arm is a lot tighter than the right, because this one moves a lot more freely, but you can get your T-pose out of that, so that's really cool. No bicep swivel, that's fine. Single joint at the elbow, so that's where you're going to get your rotation that you would get with the bicep cut. And coming up, you really got to use your both fingers to get that moving. So you get about 90, and then you get your swivel and hinge at the wrist. And I thought this giant joint was going to bother me more than it does, but really it makes it feel secure. So honestly, I'm loving that. So good job, McFarlane. You get a ball joint in the diaphragm, so you can kind of come all around. Your crunch is actually really decent for something this size. Back is all right. You kind of basically come to neutral, so that's fine. Again, then you get a ball joint down here at the top of the hips or the waist, so giving you more of that rotation. Then we come down to the actual hips, and we get kind of ball hinges, not really ball hinges, but those kind of square joints, and come out Not full splits, but I mean, again, you kind of want to keep the center of gravity in the middle on something like this because it is so large and so heavy. I can't really, I'm going to weigh it so I can have that at the end of this on my final thoughts. All your joints in the legs are ratcheted. So, single joint, I think here. Yeah, it's single joint in the leg, but I mean, look at that range. So here's fully extended, and then you can fold completely in half. Amazing. Then you can do that here as well. So you get that whole range. And then on the feet, you can do a full point, which is fantastic. And you can come up to neutral. And then you even get a little bit of rocker in there too. So you've got a lot of play with this figure. Absolutely phenomenal articulation for a figure this size. Here with Violator's legs fully extended just for full effect, let's jump into some size comparisons. So here he is with a couple other McFarlane figures. Here with some Hasbro stuff. Some SH Figuarts and Storm Collectibles. With some other monsters and villains. And finally with an Articulated Icons Oni and yours truly in human form as an Articulated Icons Ninja. So my final thoughts on McFarlane's Spawn Violator is that this thing is a beast in every single respect. It is 2.5 pounds of solid plastic with phenomenal sculpt, absolutely fantastic articulation, and just everything you would want out of a giant burly figure like this. And this year, 2021, definitely seems to be a kind of landmark year for giant figures for whatever reason, especially as I believe Hasbro's Galactus was funded as of today, the time I'm recording this video. So just a lot of big things coming literally, and and stuff like this is just crazy. So if you see this on your shelf, I'd happen to find this in my local Target, pick it up. If you can't find it in the wild, there are definitely places online. Big Bad Toy Store still has this up for pre-order. It hasn't even come in yet. So I will have links in the description to places like Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth, and other online retailers where you can find your own Violator. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you found this informative and somewhat entertaining. And if you did, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. And with that being said, I'll be signing off. So please take care of yourself, take care of those around you, and most importantly, stay weird, simians.